Hey everybody, it is about 4:30 on this very early Wednesday morning, which I believe, according to my schedule, yes, according to my schedule, I have off as well as this upcoming Friday. According to my schedule as of right now, and I'm sorry about that, just scratching a little bit there. Oops. There goes the plug to my new portable DVD player. I'll talk about that later. But yeah, today and pretty much Friday I am off, and then things kind of change up a little bit in the upcoming week. But yeah, speaking of work, as of this past Saturday, which again, as I've pretty much told you guys, starts the new week out for me and my job, I'm doing 3 to 12. I've already done three 3 to 12s, and I've got one more to go to Thursday night. Yeah. And it switches over. It switches over a little bit, and from what I can tell, as it switches over, pull this up a little bit. I do 8 to 5 on the week, on a Saturday. I do 8 to 5. I have 8 to 5 and 11 to 6 on the weekends. So it kind of switches up a bit, and that's pretty cool. And again, it is cards, so I don't know why it's so, all of a sudden cards, but it's been like that recently. I can only assume that the reason I'm not doing as much cashiering and I'm doing cards mostly is not just because maybe I haven't finished all my CBLs yet. I have to still do those along with some that I probably currently do. As well as along the lines of, I don't know if it has to do something with my SPHs, my scans per hour when it comes to registering. I don't know. Or maybe it's just the fact that right now it's the time of the month. Right now it's May, and everybody pretty much knows going into May you got so many things going on. Like recently you had Cinco de Mayo, which over the weekend proved to be very busy for us. You had Mother's Day coming up. You have the graduations, high school and college, and maybe even middle school and elementary coming up. You have Memorial Day, which is the kickoff to the summer, even though summer season, the official start of, well, basically Memorial Day weekend, which is the official kickoff to the summer vacation, although the summer season itself doesn't start till mid-June, from what I understand. So, yeah, pretty much, I can only assume that that's the majority of this reason, because myself and another guy there that's been actually a card associate for a while, since last year, I guess since last year, maybe since the store began, I don't know. But this guy, basically, me and him are the only two scheduled for this week so far. This past Saturday there was 3 of us, and then it was just me, and then Monday and Tuesday was just me and this guy, and then tomorrow I guess it's the other guy that was with us on Saturday and the guy that was with me on Monday and Tuesday, or it might be 2 other guys taking over for both of us. We don't know. And then of course it's me along with this guy again, or someone different on Thursday. And then Friday I'm off because I guess either this guy goes with another guy, or it's like I say, 2 different guys taking over for us. Again, the scheduling is kind of weird. And a lot of rumors and speculation has gone around that maybe we got mixed up with another store. Another store got our schedule and we got theirs. I don't know. It's kind of weird that I've gone from cashier to cart associating so much, so to doing. Basically, it's kind of weird for me to go from cashiering to just doing carts. One guy though said, hey, he gave me some good advice. He said, look, he basically said that, because he's been there since the store opened. He said, I was here and there, and they said, basically they said, what section would you like to be in? He said, I'll be in garden. But he said, I'll do anything you need me to do. You need me to look up the price, I'll look up the price. You need me to do this, you do this. Basically said whatever he needed done, he would do it, because he has a goal that he wants to be the one that runs the garden. He wants to be the one that's in that position of managing supervisor. In other words, he supervises the department, or the department manager, whatever. That's the position he wants. And honestly, I don't blame him. But again, it's just, one of those, situations. But the point is, it's kind of surprising to me still. I mean, don't get me wrong, I did cashier on the 1st of this month. So I've done some cashiering, even though it was for 4.5 hours. I still did some cashiering. So I don't know if maybe it's on my jobs part that this is happening right now, or if it's on the corporate regional part, the regions part, or the corporate part when it comes to scheduling. From what I understand, corporate, depending if it's regionally based or overall, sends the schedule down to the stores, maybe to the regions, and they check them off. And they say, okay. And maybe they send it to the store and say, hey, is this okay? We'll check it off. And I guess it is, especially with the time of the year. The only thing I can think of that's going to happen, hopefully, maybe, is by the time everything settles down going into June and July, that even if I am stuck on carts, even if I'm stuck on carts in a future schedule, that hopefully it'll be kind of measured out to where I'll be able to do some cashiering. My main goal basically is to talk to my assistant manager and maybe my assistant manager, and say, hey, look, I'm interested in these other areas, because there are some places like sales associate and stuff like that that's open. But I say, look, I'm interested in these other areas. Like, I'm interested in going to electronics. I mean, I'm interested in being in electronics. I mean, you take a look at what I've shown you in previous videos, my DVDs, my Blu-rays, my video games, my portable DVD player. What more evidence do you need to know that I like electronics, and I'd like to help out in that department? I mean, I'd even like to help out in the toys area, because I see things like this that we could easily order and put on the shelves, because these are very popular, not just with the kids, but with adult fans. So to me, I think I could really help out in those areas. I really do. And heck, this garden, maybe I can learn about that. Who knows? But to me, I think I just need an opportunity to go from being, just doing, carts and everything, to being someone that, okay, I'll still do carts if you need me to, I'll still cashier if you need me to, but I'm willing to go here, and I'm willing to go here, and I'm willing to go here. It's like, not tonight, or yesterday, or whatever you call it, not yesterday or earlier. Yesterday, because it's now about 4:31 in the morning on a Wednesday, so I guess you could say it's yesterday. But on Monday, I actually did cashiering once. It was very brief. Basically, one of the things I will say that's a benefit, and is intriguing, is they have the cart pushers, if they need them to come in and basically cover their section. If somebody's got to go do something, like maybe they got a cashier because they need to call up old trained cashiers, or maybe they need to go get like a rechargeable battery for the Gemini scanner, or maybe they need to go on the break. Well, for me, I was fortunate enough to have to sign in on the register and check one couple out, and that was it. That was it. So, but yeah, At least I got the steel cashier. I mean, and I think again, I think again, obviously that's the situation with my job right now, and I think that's with any job out there, any retail job, whether it's Walmart, Target, Kmart, Kohl's, whatever, Toys R Us, if you will, the malls, like Mall of America in Minnesota, the Vintage Mall in Modesto, Westridge Mall in Topeka, the Tracy Mall in Tracy, the Anaheim Mall, I think, in Anaheim, Disneyland itself and its retail little stores around. It's just one of those situations to where you're just needed in areas they feel is most needed. And for the past Saturday and Sunday, I did a very decent job as far as I was concerned. I did. According to the one guy in Garden, he's like, man, we saw all the carts that were pushed in on Saturday night, and it's like, wow, we never expected that. We never thought we'd see that. Because basically we have two, of course we have two entrances, right? So one entrance is near the pharmacy and Garden, and I just kept pushing the carts in, and then as soon as it got time to, let's say, close the walls down, shut the garage doors down, I shut them down. And when you're walking like past this one side, here's the pharmacy side, I should say. Here's the pharmacy side. You're walking past this, and you see nothing but carts in there. So that was my goal. The thing is, the main thing I look at is this: as long as there's enough carts inside the garage and everything where it's filled up, and even to the point that when a customer comes in, all they have to do is just grab the cart. There you go. Yeah, it may not have been very organized last night, which was Tuesday now, or a few hours ago, but I did the best I could. Yeah. Sunday night, not Sunday, but Monday night I actually got some help. Monday I actually got some help, which was surprising. I still did the same thing, closing up. I got a lot of carts up and going. Not a little after 9 o'clock, because that's when we shut the garden pharmacy side doors. As soon as 9 o'clock kicked, I got back out there after my break, and I just shut that garage door down. I said, that side is done. And then I waited till about a little after 11, made sure I had enough carts on the other side, shut that down, but still had to get carts. So Saturday and Monday were okay. A few hours, what is it now, about 4 hours ago, or a little over 4 hours ago, the way I ended was not so great. Yeah, I still was able to shut down both garage doors, but I was running out of time. You see, we can't go beyond maybe 30 more minutes of our schedule. Yeah, we can't. And even if we do, we're kind of really treading on thin water, because we don't know whether we should have overtime or not. I'm part-time, so it probably won't affect me much. But still, you don't know if you're going to get that over, if it's going to affect you or not, if you're treading on that water or not. So basically, I did what I had to. Monday night, I stayed 20 minutes over. Last night, or I should say about 4 hours ago, I stayed till about a little after 12:30. So yeah, I stayed a half hour after I was originally supposed to go, just to get those carts out of the way. And I did the best I could. I was only one guy. And here's the difference. Monday I had help unexpectedly. I'm coming home. I'm coming back from my house coming back from lunch. Well, basically, I'm coming back from lunch from my house here because I came home for lunch. Save some money, And all of a sudden I clock in and I'm starting to bring in the carts, and I'm starting to notice that my assistant manager Tony's out there, and he's got help for me. And it helped me out getting everything back to normal. So it wasn't that hard. But then, last night, Tuesday night, into basically, like I say, about a little over 4 hours ago, it was just me. It was just me from basically the time the one guy clocked out at 5 o'clock to basically when I came back from lunch, and that was it. It was just me. And what's funny about this is our CSM, Michael, yeah, he was the one that was closing, who I've had some ups and downs with. Let me make something perfectly clear. Michael's a good guy. He's a good CSM. There's no doubt about that. He does his job correctly. He does the job to the best of his abilities. And as I have told my fellow associates, and as of right now, my fellow cart pushers, if you will, I've told them that basically him and another assistant manager, Kayla, are basically by the book. Well, basically he is a by the book kind of guy. Like, it's like I said before, I think he's being primed maybe to be a new assistant manager, or maybe he's being primed to be a store manager at a new store down the line. I'm not really sure, but you could tell he's being primed, because instead of him wearing something like this, you know, which is the standard uniform. You will. Instead of him wearing something like that, he wears basically a nice shirt. And if it's just a casual day, he'll wear something like a sports t-shirt. That's it. But, yeah. You know, basically he, to me, in all my opinion, I think he's being prepped for that next level, is what I think it is. Which is why I always consider him to be a good CSM, but a CSM that's by the book, and that can get annoying. Not just with me, not just with my fellow associates, whether they're cart pushers, courtesy associates, sales associates, or in my case, cashiers. But it's more along the lines of, but also basically annoying at times, and it's just from what I've seen with his fellow CSMs and maybe some of the assistant managers, and I don't know about the co-managers, but basically within that range. So because basically one of the things I think he doesn't see himself doing, he doesn't really catch himself doing this, is he contradicts, according to one associate that took off for a while and is now back. Says he basically contradicts what people say. So, yeah, you know, he's a nice guy. He's a nice guy and everything, does his job to the best of his abilities, but his by-the-book methods can be very annoying, and it's just that one of those situations to where, as an old saying goes, you got to adapt to a different situation all the time. So in other words, whoever the CSM is in charge for that night closing, or whatever shift you're in, like this Saturday, I'm going from early morning to late afternoon. To the final hour of the afternoon, if you will. And you know, it's just, you know, just one of those situations to where, you know, you gotta adapt. Like I said, you gotta adapt. So, to me, again, he's a good CSM, but I think he's got a lot more to learn. You could see it a little bit. But like I said, he's the kind of guy that needs to adapt, if you know what I'm saying. You gotta adapt. No, not he has to. Well, he does have to adapt to how to run things correctly without getting on people's nerves. But he's also the kind of guy that, depending on the shift he's on, you gotta adapt to his methods. And then when he's gone, you adapt to another method. You know, like let's say and who knows, maybe it's going to happen. Let's say he's going to be there in the morning on Saturday when I'm there. Let's say he's there from, let's say, opening to maybe mid-afternoon, which would be about his, his quitting time, basically his 2:30, 3 o'clock quitting time. Let's say he's there early in the morning. From my time, which would be 8 to that time frame of 3 o'clock, I have to adapt to what he does. I have to adapt to his situation. I have to adapt on how he runs things. That's what I got to do. I got to adapt to it. Same thing with my other CSMs. If one CSM, what's her name, Barbara, is in charge for the day, from let's say I clock in, she clocks in at the same time, from 8 to 5, I adapt to what she does. If she's the lead CSM, I adapt to what she does. If Cassandra's the lead CSM from 8 to 5, I adapt to what Cassandra says. If Nate's the same way, adapt to what Nate does. Fa, same thing. Demi, same thing. Heck, if our ZSM, if our ZM, Anita is put in charge for the day, she's the one that kind of runs things, I adapt to what Anita says. Basically, that's what it is. You gotta adapt to who's in charge and how the methods are. Now, you can kind of tell that maybe he was getting a little tired too because of so much going on. And because one of the things he told me last night was, "Hey Brian, I need you to hustle." He was in Garden, doing a bending, if you will, with an associate, basically doing some bends, basically counting the money out and all that. And he tells me, "Brian, I need you to hustle before 12 o'clock." So I'm hustling. I'm doing the best I can. I'm hustling. But you can only do so much as one person and with no machine. The only positive thing I'll look at is I did remember one method my assistant manager told me about. He said, use the pulley. We have this little black pulley thing that you attach to the carts when even when you're using the mule. Well, since we can't use the mule, the next best thing is to attach it to the cart and try to push as many as you can to their destination. That's about it. So, it's been a very interesting week so far, and who knows, I'm off today, I'm off Friday, so who knows what my last day of this week, which will be Thursday, is going to bring. So we'll just have to wait and see, but as far as I'm concerned, I think my story's going to, hopefully, I pray about this, I know they will, I put it in the Lord's hands that they will understand that I did the best I could. Because I've gone there in the morning before, like I said, and the carts have been scattered. There have been carts in other areas, they've been scattered, they've been stuck in corrals, but they've been basically in other areas. It's like nobody put them away. And I did the best I could. I really did. And they're going to see that, yeah, I was the last one there. Excuse me, that was my stomach. But they're going to see I'm the last one there. And yeah, I'll take responsibility. I'll tell them the truth. I'll say, look, I did the best I could, but I was only one man. I had no help. So, and if they ask, well, why can't you get it all done? I'll tell them, look, Michael told me basically to do these corrals and make sure to clear them out so that, nobody runs into the cars because they were extending out. So that's what I was doing. So, if I could talk to you, I'll explain my situation, but, hopefully my assistant manager, kind of understands, okay, he's only one guy, he didn't really have much help. There was just so much going on. You had all these different carts all over the place, and I was basically doing the best I could. So what are you going to do, right? And then I get told by one of my associates, hey, I need you to watch this area just for a bit too while you're doing carts. So yeah, but I think I'll be okay. It's not the first time this has happened, and I think they do realize, and hopefully they do realize that, as much as I could have gotten done, which I could have, even with help, which I think benefited me on Monday, that without help, I can only do as much as I can. And secondly, we need to get that cart manager fixed. And that's all I'm going to say. So thank you for listening to this vlog, and I'll talk to you all later. Comment down below if you can. And let me know if you have any similar experiences.